So you actually, I hope that's in there. I hope they heard you do that. And hopefully they saw you do that too. That was nuts.
My feet was swinging.
So look. So we was just talking offline, and I think I'm now in a silly mood. That story you just told me was hilarious. Vince McMahon says Hulk Hogan wasn't racist. He said some racist things. That wasn't how we were going to start. And I immediately want to take it off of Hogan and Vince McMahon. Okay. I wanted to start with candy corn. So that has to be the second thing we start with. I didn't know how much candy corn hate it was out here. I don't know your stance on it. So I need you to hold that in the tuck. You don't know that. Don't speak for him. But y'all are bullies out here. The freaks that are on at least X are bullies. But my girl Deanna Purrazzo represented just a few minutes ago.
She has freckles like me.
Back to Hulk Hogan wasn't racist. He said some racist things. Take it off of Hogan and Vince McMahon. What can you do, but you are not that?
That particularly it. I can be very racial myself. I could be very racial, but deep down in my heart, in my core, my being, my fiber, my being, my existence, we are all one human race. But there could be times where I could say some stuff that, like, whoa, Rhodesia, you would absolutely get canceled for that.
See, I found out it's like 7 minutes to not cuss in the first.
I didn't cuss.
I'm about to.
Oh.
You are full of shit right now. You may be one of the more racist people that I know. You are absolutely racist.
No, I'm not.
And you're not a bad racist. You would never do nothing to nobody, but you're
First
racist.
off, I am not. I'm racial. Okay. I'm racial. I'm very racial.
Look, all right, on episode 250 or 300, when Matt gets back on here, Lil Matt, we'll ask Lil Matt, is your mom racist? And what do you think he's going to say?
He's going to say no. He's going to say she makes everything about race.
Ain't that racist?
No.
If you make everything about race?
I don't.
That may be up for debate.
Racist means that there's hate toward another race.
You know, I am equally biased towards everybody. Like, right? Cause
you say
like
everybody?
Because like you out and about, you see people do some shit, you be like, oh, that's white people shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's only some white person would do, right? Same thing, for our culture. I'm like, oh, that's a bunch of ninjas did that, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Like only certain individuals who grew up a certain type of way and with a certain culture do certain things, like, right? And that's stereotypical too, right? Because when you see somebody, you look at them, you be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You about to do some white people shit. Like I can tell, I got the feel off you right now. I got the feel of white people shit from you. Same thing we see brother walk in here. I'm like, oh, you about to be on some ninja shit right now. I already know, man. Like, hey, I just want to let you know before you walk in this store. You got the ninja meter. Got to be at least on 5. Don't bring it on 10. Bring that ninja meter down to 5.
Oh man. Okay, but I think that's all racist.
Okay.
So so is there anything else you can do, but you may not be that? Because if you do something, if you do smart stuff, you're smart.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say
you're not doing smart stuff then.
I probably could, the way that I talk, the way that I speak, the way that I feel to an extent would be I could be known as bisexual, and I'm not bisexual.
Lesbian.
Well, I wouldn't be lesbian because I'm with you. But
that's what you're about to say.
Yeah, but I can see a woman say, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, beautiful body, damn, like looks great. But there's nothing there that would ever get me aroused by it. So I would say that's probably for me there too. Outside of me being racial, I would say that I could be very pro sexuality and knowing when there's beauty and knowing when somebody's in their bag of being beautiful and they're all that energy and aura on them, but also not be sexually attracted to them.
But you would have to be sexually attracted to them for that to be that. Because you can just recognize somebody being attractive to being attractive. Right? But your thing is I wouldn't act on it. So like he said he says some racist things, but he's not racist.
We're not talking about Hogan and Vince right now, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Consider the source here.
I know we off of Hogan and Vince, okay? But I'm only going back to that. That's kind of a wild statement because you get it, right? We just talked about it for the last few minutes. But that's wild to say.
Oh, I got one.
What you got?
I'm sorry, I don't want to take from you, but I hate a FN. An N meaning ninja, a freak ninja. I can't stand a freak ninja. But I'm in love with somebody who loves candy corn, and only freak ninjas like candy corn.
So that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, so like a few days ago, somebody put on Twitter, I forgot who it was. Somebody put on Twitter about candy corn, and I made a comment about how I like candy corn, and I got visceral hate. You would have thought my account was TKO after WWE made a bad decision on that next Monday when they try to promote their upcoming week's lineup in the comments. And I didn't realize it was okay to cyberbully for what you like to eat. I didn't realize that until that day.
It's okay to cyberbully anybody about anything. That's what you do online. That's X behavior.
But
that's what they do.
Over candy corn?
Over anything.
We gangbanging over candy corn.
I didn't realize candy corn was not as liked as what it is. I knew people didn't like it. I didn't know the hatred and disdain.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an AHL conversation about it, bro.
Candy corn is the equivalent of your relationship with John Cena and how you hate him. That is the type of hate I was getting about candy corn.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Man, was that strong? Is that strong?
It was pretty strong.
That's pretty strong.
And then today, Deanna Purrazzo puts up a photo with candy corn. She's like, is it too early yet? No, it's never too early. I quote tweeted. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm getting hit over the head in the comments.
Yeah, it's never too early to put it in the trash can. You could put that shit in the trash can anytime, right?
Like for real talk, outside of the nostalgia behind getting candy corn, and Matt, you had a great job. Good. You cannot tell me that candy corn is like delicious. So if you're going to have candy to choose from, so let's just go off of that. You have candy to choose from for Halloween. Okay. You're telling me that you're going to see fun size Snickers, fun size Three Musketeers, 100 gram bars, Werther's Originals, and some candy corn. You're going to say, oh, and Tootsie Rolls.
You're going to go to candy corn? You go candy corn first.
Candy corn is the grab and go. Right? Like candy corn is, I'm grabbing a few. I'm going to bite the little white off. You know what I'm saying? At the top. Then you bite the yellow right there in the middle. And then you go ahead and just take the orange out.
See, I don't.
That's a grab and go. A Snickers, you're gonna sit down with that and you're gonna really enjoy it.
The bite side, no, that's one chew out.
So you I'm talking
about the little bite, like
the fun size one. You boom to the next house.
Boom.
Next house.
Keep it moving. No, see, I don't think it's disgusting. I think it's what Rhodesia just described. It's not something I would pick. It's like a smorgasbord of like candy on the table. Like, I'm not going near the candy corn first. That's I'm honestly, if I want candy, I don't think I'll even touch it. I'm like, I think I'm good. Mm-hmm. I need to brush my teeth in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm straight. Hey, well, I do want. While we're talking about something, I just saw something too. Like, cause all right, so my brother-in-law staying with me. He's an awesome man.
Okay,
but so it's Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco
Tuesday, of course.
Right, so we got the pico. What is it? Pico
de gallo.
Pico de gallo. Right, we got that out. Right.
He said pico de gallo.
Yeah, whatever.
He switched it on.
So,
he said pico de gallo.
So I didn't really use it that much.
What's a black gringo? That's what he is.
So I didn't use it that much, right? So
that's racist.
They've been buying it. It's pretty good. So I'm like, man, I want to get some of that, right? I say, my brother-in-law, he over the sink.
Doing what?
With the tub. With the chips.
No,
dipping, and he's straight
raw
dipping.
dog in the
dip. Ninja shit.
Raw dog in the
I'm
dip.
talking about no condom, just right in there, right? And then you know what I'm saying. Then he sets it back down on the counter for the community. I got offended. Am I wrong?
No,
absolutely
not.
Guess
what? I got a brother that does the same thing.
Oh shit!
And Matt be like, "Hey, Rhodesia," he'll just point, and I was like.
Yeah, it's a wrap for whatever dish that is, right? Like, you better get it before you can, before he come around. I was in the car with somebody last week, and they, how when you on a road trip, of course you can go get your snacks, whatever that looks like for you at the gas station. So he went and got this big bag of they're like cheese puffs, but they're jalapeno poppers. Okay, and they taste fantastic. I had them a few days ago for the first time before that. So he comes back. I'm sitting in the back seat. And this was supposed to be a community bag.
No.
Right? There's 3 of us in the car. It was supposed to be a community bag. I thought, you pour some out, put on paper towel, something, then, bag go around. You know how the deal go? Or at least put it in the center console in the front. It's a big truck so we can all reach it. So he take a few. And he just doesn't stop. He's driving with his left hand. He got the bag going hard in his right hand. And it's once again, it's like cheese puffs. So what he's doing is he's popping about 2 or 3.
He's
putting
sucking the
all
fingers.
of his, man.
Oh, Lord.
He's sucking them joints, boy.
Oh,
My
Lord.
God.
He's sucking them joints like an old 1980s X-rated film, boy. He is going to town, putting them hands right back into the bag. I was like,
He market territory.
dude.
Did he look in your eye and pass you the bag and say, do you want something?
No, so then look.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this is a massive bag. This is one of the bigger bags that I've ever seen at a gas station. So this is not just a regular, and this is, I'm not exaggerating this story in a bit. So it didn't even got to the passenger side up front yet. He is still going ham with his hand in the bag, sucking the orange off, just going hard, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, he's never going to give the bag up because it's been about 4 minutes and he's done this nonstop. He crinkled the bag up. He tossed it over to me. Here you go, Matt. I'd be damn. That shit would be sitting there until the end of days. One, you probably only left me 4. Right? That's number one. So that's kind of dude, don't bird feed me. You know what I'm saying? Now we got issues. So now I'll tell you a couple of things, right? So it ain't that point. Then this other part is there's more of your spit in this bag than it is the Cheetos.
COVID's still
Come
here
on,
too.
man.
COVID. This is why, people say I'm stingy, right? Because I don't do community. I get my own shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna get a large family size fry. You know what I'm saying? No, that family size fry is for me. I'm gonna buy you your own family size fry,
right.
and you do what you need to do. I don't want your hands in my stuff.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Oh my God.
What is one thing, and then we can start with the wrestling, right? I gotta feel it's already 12 minutes, and I got a lot more I want to ask, and then to do with wrestling. But he just said he got this family size French fry. What's one thing that if you have or you order, Katrina's gonna be like, nah, I need some of that.
Oh, it's everything. So anytime I buy food, I buy 2. And I know that she may only want a bite.
Okay.
She might only want a piece. She can't have my piece because it's a mental thing for me.
Oh, you're
too.
that stingy.
Yeah, because
you're that stingy.
Let's say I get a 10-inch
Yikes.
sub, right?
Okay.
In my mind, I'm hungry. I feel I need all 10 inches of that sub.
No
Right.
pause.
Hey, yo.
No pause.
Hey,
10
no
inches
pause.
is a lot.
10
inches
inches
is a lot.
I'm taking it. I'm taking
All
it
right.
off.
10
All right,
inches.
I'm taking it off. Right. So if I give up
That
an inch,
is the worst one you've ever
if I
done.
give up an inch or 2, I feel like I'm not satisfied.
I can't wait to clip this up.
Oh my God. Oh, that was episode. What
Hey, Eric. No pause, man.
What episode is this? This is episode what?
10 inches, 212.
Okay, this is episode 212, and we have just jumped the shark. There is no way anything good comes after that moment that he just gave us on this podcast. Holy hell. God, God bless, man. Look,
So,
Jesus Christ.
I'm not following that. But can we just ask our freaks their answer to that?
That was fantastic.
Can y'all respond and tell
you
us
do
what's
whatever
that
the
one
fuck
thing
you want to
your
do.
partner,
Just,
your
great.
partner's going to ask you for?
Send in everything. Just send
all the
everything.
inches. All the inches you want.
I need all 10.
Oh my God. Welcome to the TFW podcast. That's freaking wrestling or freaking whatever else we got. We about 15 minutes in, and I got another question I want to ask.
Let's go.
Now I'm really fucking scared.
Let's go. Let's go.
I don't know what I'm going to get.
Let's do it.
Oh, the best kept secret in wrestling podcast today. You guys know us. We are Three the Hard Way. I am your host, Matt, joined by Rhodesia, joined by Mr. 10 inches himself. Holy hell, man. That was great. That was fucking great. All right. So this is the podcast. We're going to do the podcast. And then we'll get on out of here. Podcast. Yeah, but kind of. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we here now. All right, we're here now. So I'll throw it to you guys. Once again, top story, I'm guessing for all of us, is Karrion Kross. And I'm only going to assume that because that's been the biggest outside the ring things happening over the last week or so. You guys talked about it 2 weeks ago on the pod that I missed about Karrion and Scarlett. We hit on it, I think, briefly. Actually, I know we hit on it briefly last week. After SummerSlam, we talked about Sammy and Karrion Kross at SummerSlam. But we're here now. According to everybody, no matter what side of the street you're on, either you think it's a work or you think it's a shoot. Their contracts, Scarlett and Karrion Kross, was up this Sunday. So they are officially, allegedly free agents. But we know for sure their contract's up. We just don't know if they have already re-signed, if they're going to re-sign. E, I'm going to throw it to you because we've talked about this a little bit, for sure. And I have a very strong opinion on what this is, either work or shoot. But I think you really had some thoughts on it. You sent it to us earlier, like, just work or shoot, work or shoot. So what you got?
Well, it wasn't in regards to just Karrion Kross, but it kind of plays into it. Because we've been talking about a lot of work shoot things for the past couple of weeks now, right? We had the Seth, right? We had some strong opinions about that. AEW tries to do a lot of work shoot things. So what I was interested in was, what was your first work shoot moment that you can remember? How did it affect you? And do you think it's necessary? I got 3 questions. Do you think it's necessary for today's audience? So let's start number 1. What was your guys' first work shoot memory that you have?
Well, shit, I would say my first memory of wrestling, because then that was a work shoot. It was a shoot to me, but it was work to them. But I know what you mean, though, right? But back then, before we even started knowing these terms or had places to go, everything we saw on TV we thought was a shoot, right? I think the work shoot came about when fans got smart and we have an opportunity to do this on television that can confuse everybody who's watching, no matter if you know what we do, if you don't know what we do. So if that is the definition of like when is the first one that I can remember, dude, fuck, whatever. And now this is going to sound crazy. I think you probably would agree. Whatever the first work shoot was on TV, right? I mean, that's how long we've been watching wrestling for. Like, I am sure whatever the first work shoot was, we didn't miss it, and we watched it in real time back then.
What?
Like Brian Pillman, WCW?
I would say that, yeah, like, so for me, my memory is something like that, just to kind of get
Kevin
you to
Sullivan?
where it go, right? Because up until the mid-'80s, yes, we all thought it was real, right? Maybe if you were a kid, you kind of thought it was real to a extent too. But a concerted effort from the promoters and wrestlers themselves to try to fool like the fans into believing something was real when in reality it wasn't. Like, right? What was for me, Brian Pillman is the first thing that kind of comes to mind as far as like my first memory of like, oh, this isn't really real as they say it is on television.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for me, mine's, and I'm going based off of the fact that I had already known the inner workings of wrestling. When I first started watching wrestling on my own, right, everything was a shoot. I thought that there was some kind of soap opera to it. So maybe deep down inside, I probably felt that it was scripted before knowing that it was really scripted, but maybe not. In the moment, I didn't, but maybe subconsciously. I met Matt a couple years later, and he kind of put me on game. So at that point, I knew fairly early on, as far as when I started paying for wrestling tickets and going to see shows, I was already kind of in the know about wrestling not being a shoot. I would say that stand out is 2. And they're both from the same person. He's the common denominator in both of them.
Oh, okay. Hold a second. Let's see if we can guess it.
Oh, you know it.
Give us a hint.
It's,
but not like not too crazy of a hint. But give us a hint.
He's the person I despise the most. I literally said it last week. I've literally said it for the whole 212 episodes. Every
Cody
time.
Rhodes?
No. What? God damn. No.
CM Punk?
No. Who
You
else?
despise the most.
Yes.
Hold a second. I mean,
Oh my God.
yeah, if this lasts an hour, we're going to figure this out. If I got to pull up. Are they an active wrestler right now?
Yes.
Brock Lesnar?
Yes. The first time was him and Taker. Him being the person that was allowed to break the streak. That wasn't
a shoot. What was a shoot?
Yeah, but
it was a shoot to you.
Yeah, it was absolutely
a shoot to you.
And
but,
then
no, he's talking about where it was presented on television as being real, but it wasn't.
Well,
Rhodesia,
that's it. And then it's
Rhodesia took that shit as
it hurt my feelings
when I got mad.
Yeah, but no, and I'm not done. And then it'll be the first time between Brock and Cena's first go at it, and he was really like not pulling punches with Cena. Now, being further removed from that and being more into wrestling and appreciating wrestling more, I understand that the punches have to be there. Like if it wasn't there, then it's not believable. So when you have these pull aparts, it has to be there. But to me, I was just always like, that this is like, God, this is not real. Like you don't have to really hit Cena like that. You don't have to really beat him up like that. And so to me, that would be the other one. Otherwise, other than that, maybe legit probably will be Seth. But again, it wasn't
Seth
like
what? Hey, stop. Seth what?
Hurting his Achilles again allegedly. Just now, recent.
I thought you was about to say Seth cashing in.
No.
I thought you thought that was a shoot too.
No, but I'm talking about like, but the shoot works. Like I worked myself into shoots with both Brock both Brock situations. Everything else, fortunately, unfortunately, I've had this. I live with the spoiler in the house, so I kind of already knew kind of the mentality and the psychology on a lot of the things.
I mean, so like he brought up Brian Pillman in WCW. That was a big one. When he told Kevin Souther, "I respect you, Booker." Man, that was nuts on TV.
Don't know
he
what
was
that
the Booker in WCW at the time.
Got it.
Yeah. So it was a whole thing. Like they did a whole thing.
They never mentioned that before.
Got it.
And they never really did either after that. That was the only mention of it. You had to kind of be inside to know.
Got it.
Yeah. So like if you don't see it or you do see it and you don't know what he means, you're not thinking about it again. But if you know it, you're like, yo, what is happening? So of course I'm gonna go Montreal Screwjob. I still think that was a work. I think that was that. What's the other one I was just thinking about? Brian Pillman with Austin. When Austin broke into his house, because people thought that was just shot like it was completely real, which how would you think that? But that was one.
I know another one.
But I'm trying to, which one you got?
And this is not for me, but this is the one that I have to, when people find out that I do a podcast now, the one that they always bring up to me, I say always loosely, Eddie Guerrero having a heart attack in a ring. I get that a lot.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, he really had a heart attack in the ring, and they said that's what led up to his death. I said, that was not real.
The Chris Benoit tribute show was a work shoot.
But they didn't know at that time.
They didn't know
the details.
Chris Benoit did. He remember when his son walked across the stage just a few weeks ago?
He said that was his grandson. That ain't his son. That was his grandson.
He wasn't there either. So,
I'm done with the show.
Man, like
I'm done with the show for today.
All right.
So, like the other question. So, part two of that, like those times that you guys can remember, outside of Rhodesia working herself into a shoot, like did you feel like the added trickery of the angle really added to suspense? Do you think it worked with the majority of the audience?
I think the majority of the time it does.
Absolutely.
Like and that's the problem with doing something that doesn't work is because it falls flat. And it feels even worse when it falls flat, when it's supposed to be real or it is based off of reality than when it doesn't.
Yep.
Like AEW was doing a fantastic job at it when they first started doing those kind of things. A lot of the winks and like a work shoot is more than just a shot at a competitor. But when it's not done right, and we've seen them all when it's not done right, it's just like it takes you completely out of the moment. Because then you're like, what was even the point?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can't do real right, like do fantasy, like give us a great story. But that's what I would say, man. I'm probably high 90%. I think work.
I think the prerequisite of that is that you have to have all that kind of tomfoolery in there and distraction and smoke and mirrors. I mean, it's the part of the entertainment. It has to be. That's what people keep coming back to watch the show for.
I absolutely agree with that. And that's why when I see people talking about like the Seth thing in a negative light, it's like, oh, they're going to lose their audience. They're going to lose trust, things of that nature. Like, I feel like, look, the reason for it is because in this wrestling world we live in now, everyone's so smart and they're so in tune to what's going on that like they're trying to manufacture a real response from things that happen on the screen, right? So if you believe that Seth is injured and he's not going to be back for quite some time, when he pops up at SummerSlam to do a cash in, if they didn't go to the extreme that they went into, maybe the moment wouldn't have been as big. Maybe it wouldn't have been as, oh my God, I can't believe all the cash in, right? Because they're trying to create a moment for us fans, right? So for me, when it happens, I don't think that they're trying to get over in a negative way to say, hey, I want to fool you and make you guys look like fools for believing this. I feel like they're trying to create a moment so we can be in that. For that SummerSlam, you'd be like, oh, snap. I can't believe that just happened. Now, going back to some of the stuff that AEW did, I can't remember everything they specifically did, but I think they did a little bit too much of that stuff. Like, especially towards with the MJF stuff and the contract thing that he was going on, to where they were winking too much into the audience that you really had to be to know the hell they was even talking about, actually get the payoff. But for me, when we talk about this Seth thing, and it was like, I don't know how much negative feedback it is when people talk about like, oh, this is too much. They're losing the trust of the audience, this and that and the third. Like, look, they just trying to create a moment for us to go like, oh shit.
Who is saying that though? Like, who? Not asking like actual names, but for both of you, like, what fan base is saying that?
It gotta be
what
some
fan base
tribal
would
people
feel that way.
Our fan base.
I would speak.
What, hardcore?
The hardcores.
I would speak.
But this whole thing is made up to work us.
Exactly.
There's nothing that's real on TV. So this is a work on top of a work.
Where I got irritated about the Seth thing is that we had a match scheduled, and again, at altitude, you look back at it, and you're like, okay, it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was a Saturday night's main event. It's not a big PLE. But in my mind, I felt like you just shitted on LA Knight again because he had an opportunity to have a good showing at a PLE on Saturday night main event with you. Now, we know he was able to come back and say, hey, you chickened out and blah, blah, blah. And again, his promo was whack as hell. We can talk about that later or not talk about that later. But I was just more irritated on, I was like, I really wasn't looking forward to Saturday night main event. And then I'm thinking I'm about to watch Seth. I'm thinking I'm about to see Seth.
It'll be the last time we hear that probably. That's why I had to play it right there because I got some things in my
Saturday.
Hey, I got some things on my mind too about that opening promo.
That's so again, the point that I'm getting at is I just feel like that was just a waste of my time.
You love me, Mr. Knight.
So
we appreciate you, brother.
My anger
maybe
was
the last time
purely off
that you say that again.
You mean on the show?
I'm sorry because you brought it up. You brought it up.
Oh, for sure. No, and I'm gonna talk about how terrible that promo. Again, if we want to talk about it.
And look, and this is us we're really hard. The promo wasn't terrible. That promo was horrible though. It wasn't terrible, but it was horrible. No, we'll get to that. We're not getting to nothing of relevance on this show because we are already 30 minutes in, and I don't want to.
And I'm already hot.
And I don't want to go nowhere from the Seth Rollins conversation.
And before we get off this too, because before we get to another topic real quick, because I thought about. I finally watched 2 episodes of Unreal.
Yeah,
it was good, right? You like it?
I think it's fine. And the reason why I watched it is because I had a plane ride, and I was like, all right, let me download something to watch. I'm on this plane. I did like the episodes, but it's not something I'm going to go out of my way to watch in the future.
Is it because you just don't care how it came together? Is it because you didn't find it entertaining enough, how they presented it, and you already know where the stories went? Because this is 6, 7, 8 months old storylines and footage. Like, why would you not?
I'm not interested in. So I was listening to. I listened to Keeping It 100, and this is one guy. And there's one guy, I don't know his name, honestly. Sorry, that man. But he was a Latino man, and he was saying that the Latinos, they don't like the Unreal, and they feel like that show is slapping the fans in the face. And his biggest critique, he was like, when you go to a magic show, you don't want to watch a documentary on how the magic is done. It takes away from the appeal and the allure of actually seeing it happen on the stage. And in some ways, honestly, guys, I mean, I don't feel strongly about that, but I understand that thought process. And so for me, when I actually go to watch the show, I'm not necessarily interested to know all the
you don't
work.
know how the sauce is made. You don't know how the sauce is made. You just want to enjoy it.
I just want to enjoy it. So I'm not necessarily into the making of how these things happen in the way they're happening. It's just I get what they're doing. Like when you watch the show, I feel like that show, like Total Devious, can bring in, you know, a different type of audience, right, to get them kind of into the WWE universe. It's like, but just for me as a fan, I'm just kind of good. I just want to watch the show. I don't need to know what they're doing behind the scenes to make it happen.
So I think that is a great. Yeah, we're not getting off this no time soon. That's a great comment, right? The magic show analogy, but it is so wrong. The magic show analogy would work if they're showing us how they don't get hurt in these said matches. If they show us how they bump to protect themselves. If they show us the inner workings of the matches. Then what you guys are saying, completely understand.
But hold on one second, though, because see, this is one thing we need to make sure that when we talk about wrestling, it's not just about the match. Like, right, we make things about the match too much. I'm not just talking about the match. I'm talking about it's a TV show, right? It's a story and presentation. The match is something that happens to get from point A to point B. I'm talking about the entire presentation, like, right? So yes, the match is one thing, but I'm talking about the entire show and the way they put together the match. The matches that leads to the different stories.
But E knows, because he's been watching this for 30 plus years, 40 plus years, that backstage promo. 50 plus years.
All right, you doing that Braun Breaker math right now. Add both of y'all together. Y'all 100-year-old.
By his number, you ain't got to add me in it. He'll be 100 before the segment's over.
You're right.
You know that backstage promo is going to lead to a match in the ring later on tonight or later on next month. So you seeing the wrestler talk over his promo with an agent before that shouldn't take you out of the moment. Like for me, I am one of those where if I really enjoy a movie, I'm watching the behind the scenes featurettes. Now for let's take Avengers. That's always the easy one to go to. Mm-hmm. If there was a documentary, and I'm sure there is, I haven't watched it, of how they made that last final scene feel and look so epic. I'm not watching that on the doc or the feature. I'm not watching that. I don't need to see that, because then for me, that does spoil the magic of that fight scene. Because every time I see that fight scene, I'm going to think back to, oh man, there was only 6 people in that entire room, and it was behind a green screen, and they did all that video editing afterwards. Now, if we're talking about a scene where 2 actors are just together and it was maybe the one scene where the protagonist told the antagonist blah blah blah, like that's the epic scene. Mm-hmm. I have no problem watching them shoot that and then them going back to the actors and saying what that scene meant to them. And it took us, 8 hours to get the right light angle for us to be able to say it right then and there. And we both knew this was the pinnacle of everything we've been working toward in this movie. So we had to pay it off with this. I am in to watching that. So like for me, that would be the better comparison. I get it, of course, regardless. If you don't want to see
how do you feel about Rhea, talking to Priest word for word, move for move about the matches they're going to have in the ring, right? So you think about it, she's laying it all out, like the match that they're going to have. So you think about it when she's describing this match before it happens. So you think that they're doing things for certain crowd reactions, right? Well, they're already got pre-programmed the crowd reactions they're supposed to get in these type of moments. So now they're telling us that some of these things aren't even organic. Like, right? Like, oh, I'm going to do this spot in this moment, and I'm going to get this crowd reaction. And if I don't, cool, we're going to move to the next thing anyway, because this is the next spot.
But did you really think they were calling that much in the ring right now?
I'll be honest, for me personally, it doesn't matter to me. To be honest with you, put much thought into it.
You don't care.
I don't. I don't feel strongly either way about it. They call matches. For me, again, it's all about, do I enjoy what I see or not? I don't care if it's pre-planned or any of that, to be honest with you.
So when I saw it, what got me was not that she had all those spots already in her mind. What got me, because I've actually seen that
Mm-hmm.
being back with Warrior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in a locker room where
Backstage.
I've seen guys legit. Yeah, like legit go over. I mean, and I'm watching them actually go over their spots, right? They're not bumping, but they're making sure that they can do this and we're going to do this. So it was that. So it kind of took me back to like being in the locker room. But what really got to me was, think about how much you have to remember.
That's a lot.
Right? You still got to stay in character. And that's why.
And don't get your bell rung, right? Don't get your bell rung.
Don't be sick. Don't have a migraine. Don't be on your cycle. And don't be bleeding out profusely and then still have to do spots.
Don't get time cut off of your match.
Right.
So everything we had planned, now I don't even know how to get from transition G to J, because I'm mostly going from G to K. Mm-hmm. And now you completely took out okay. So that's why we see sometimes clunkiness or whatever. But so I thought to myself, one, like, that is a ton to remember, where I need to stay in character. This is still a physical. And if I'm not in the moment, I can kill somebody or kill myself.
Yeah.
I got it. So it's so much that goes into that. That was number one. And then number two is like, you're Rhea fucking Ripley, and you are stressing out over something that you've done at the highest level for years now. And you still get like that. So those were my two big takeaways when I saw it. That was one of the other moments where when I watched, I didn't cringe, but it was like, it's kind of sick that they really are showing that.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about Unreal before we leave here, because I'm in 2 episodes as well. I think we finished the 2nd episode too. And for me with Unreal, y'all brought up great explanations, descriptions on about how you feel about it. Mine's is more so of, you don't have to watch it. So yes, it's giving a lot of that insider how to do this magic trick in the glove in your hand and the bullet slide, all that. But you don't have to watch it. My beef always came from, and they didn't do it often, like at all. My beef would have been like if this person was a bad guy, like we use like Titus O'Neil. I mean, he wasn't always a good guy, but he was a bad guy. But then on your episodic television programming on a commercial or the lead into your commercial, I see him doing something for Make-A-Wish kids. That was the one that would always be a disconnect for me. Like if they're a bad guy or a good guy or gal, then on TV, your episodic television, let that stay the same. Something that's extra, something more of the inner workings, let me go and be able to watch it myself. So I can appreciate Unreal. I can also appreciate Paul Heyman's take on Unreal, because he was on Ariel Helwani. I'm not sure if both of y'all watched all of that and got all of that, but he was along.
I did, yep.
He was along the lines of, he said back in the day, like they kept that close to their vest, like with someone at the bar, and he said pretty much this is how most bar fights started. They said something about wrestling, usually around it being fake or work, and you as that talent would have to lay them out. And if you didn't and news got back to other people, you were kicked out of the territory. So
yeah, right. That was nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah. So to me,
man, wasn't that nuts? Like, think about that.
Like, so you had to, like, off GP, you had to F somebody up. So I can appreciate all those sides of it. And I've always come back to, if it's up with the wrestlers, Phil, if they're okay with it, then so be it. But then the last part on that Rhea part that you had asked, I felt more of empathy for her, because through the TV, I felt her anxiety. And I'm not really an anxiety ridden person, although I talk about how my beats per minute is always super high on my watch, which is true. But that anxiety, I used to play instruments when I was younger, and I used to be in talent shows and stuff like that. And I just remember the enormous amount of pain that would come before you go out and perform. I wasn't great at all, but I mean, I was good. I won some talent shows too, to my own horn. But it was just how nerve-wracking, how you can get in your head. And I'm playing.
How many you win?
I won 2, first place.
What age?
5 and 8.
And you just stopped?
And I just stopped. I got older, got to high school, thought that I was kind of like our kid, thought I was bigger and better and beyond this, and kind of, I don't regret it, don't have really any regrets in life. Point I'm making is that overwhelming pain that you almost feel before the performance.
No, we're not done. We're not done yet.
Okay.
So your last first place award that you won was, you were 8.
Yeah, but I was always first chair in every instrument that I played after that.
Got it. So when was the last time you were first place in something?
I'm first place being a wife every motherfucking day.
With a bullet. With a bullet.
All right, proceed. Just wanted to know.
I'm just saying. So I felt pain for Rhea because you know how, like, again, when you see her like shaking and panicking, and she's mentioned before that Damian has been like, is like her BFF, her sense of calm. She's said it before. So just to see how her going through it and how he's cool as a cucumber, keeping her calm.
Well, he's cool because he's not working.
You know what? But point is,
know
that's all I'm getting to. I felt pain for
I thought about that too.
He's like, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's a lot.
That's all you got for me. But she's not listening to him because she's in her mind. She's going through it. He's just there. He could have said the sky was about to crash, and she's just still like, okay, so I'm gonna hit her like that, and I'm gonna hit her like that. You felt almost the pain from her of her wanting to be able to perform, but to the point that I was making about performing instruments and such. Once you play your first note, it kind of just all goes away. It really does.
There's reportedly unhappiness within the WWE over Seth Rollins' work injury. Obviously, WWE can lie to people they want. They certainly lied to a lot of people. It would appear during the Seth Rollins situation, much of which has left a very unhealthy flavor in the mouths of a lot of people who work behind the scenes for the company, as well as talents who are in-ring performers. That is from pwinsider.com. I, for the life of me, don't get it. I don't understand it. I know for a long time-honored tradition from what wrestlers said was you don't work the boys.
Okay. Is that a thing? That was a thing?
You don't work the boys. You work everybody else. You don't work the boys.
Okay.
This is the equivalent. If you are at your job and there is something going on with your coworker, it is not mandatory for you to know what is going on with your coworker. And that is what this is. Unless it was a situation where, and even this, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are supposed to work night 2 main event at SummerSlam, and they do a worked shoot injury on television to Seth Rollins, and now Roman Reigns has to find another opponent. We tell Roman Reigns, your new opponent at SummerSlam night 2 is going to be Braun Breaker. And Roman Reigns proceeds to train, practice with Braun Breaker for 2 weeks on their match at SummerSlam for Triple H or Creative to then tell Roman Reigns a day before SummerSlam, hey, it was work. Seth is good to go. You guys are going to work 25 minutes on night 2 of SummerSlam tomorrow night. If that was the case, then maybe I could see why a coworker would be upset. Because you wasted my time, now blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But for anybody else in the back, if you are not Becky Lynch, it don't matter. Yeah. Why would it matter to you? So, like, miss me with the, oh, we're being lied to. It has nothing to do with you. You ain't losing no money, right? This ain't old school house shows where you pull the top guy off or the top girl off the road, and we're getting paid off of ticket sales. Yep. So when you put them off, we're not drawing the same amount of houses. It's none of that. Like, miss me with, you're lying to us, and what is this going to turn into? I hope they work more people backstage. That's what I hope, so we don't ever get spoilers. Work everybody backstage.
I agree with that. I never knew about the sentiment of don't work the boys. So to me, I didn't even realize that was a thing, because when I first saw Total Divas, in the first year or two, I don't know how many years Total Divas was out for, but it was the one guy who was talent relations. I forgot his name.
John Laurinaitis?
Nope, not him. I remember him. The other guy, big old beady eyes, pop up eyes. My mom always say big old pop up eyes. Anyways,
he was
talent relations, head of talent relations. At least what they showed actually on Total Divas. So who knows if that was
the one dude. Yeah.
So yeah, I saw then, at least with what they showed on Total Divas, that at any moment your match can be changed, canceled. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I always thought work or not a work, what we're saying today is going to happen in 6 weeks from now doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. So whether it's a work or not a work, it may not even happen. So it was almost and I think on Unreal, they even said, just be prepared for changes. Maybe Damian said it to Rhea, just prepared to cut some stuff. I think he did say that. just be prepared to cut. So to me, that's not that big of a deal. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a worker. If that is like the unwritten rule, you don't work us, you let us know this is a brotherhood, a sisterhood, then I can see why they have a beef. But I think that E had asked originally, and we didn't get to it, about his third question was, is it necessary? I think it is necessary. I think it's actually pretty awesome when everybody's kind of not in the know, when you only have a handful of people who really know what's about to go down. Again, it makes everybody more excited about the product, especially when it lands right. If it falls flat, that's different.
You know what they say, loose lips sink ships.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right, especially nowadays, man, everything getting out there. Because I think Mike Johnson's, got word, right? That's how we originally started talking about it. Somebody told Mike Johnson, and he reported on Insider. And, so there was one person that was in the know or heard something, and then that got on the internet, right? It only takes one person to hear something for something to get out, right? Now, let's talk about from a human perspective, right? We're all friends. And I tell you guys that I'm sick. Right? For whatever reason, whatever my reason is for telling you that I'm sick, right? You guys are concerned. You guys are checking in on me. You guys are, texting me. Maybe you're worried about me. Right? Just to find out I wasn't sick the entire time. And I just told you guys I was sick because I needed everyone to believe I was sick for some kind of personal advantage of my own, right? Now, you guys might be like, oh, E, hey, great that you guys, you accomplished what you accomplished, right? But you can't tell me in the back of your mind, you ain't gonna be a little irritated. I know Miss Rhodesia Day will feel a certain type of way.
Brand new name.
Oh yeah, come on, the new ones.
But
right?
It's different though. If we were just podcasters together and we didn't have a relationship before that, then I couldn't do that.
But these people probably have relationships together, right? So I think just from a human perspective, I think we talk about the brotherhood. I think we got to look at the human component of it. I don't think it's from a professional perspective that these people may feel the way they feel. I think it's from a personal relationship. Like, yo, we thought something was wrong with you, and you wasn't.
Now, if you're making up some stuff, you're making up like an example of sick. So you send
But you're a worker, though. Let's real quick before you do that. You are a worker in wrestling. This is what wrestlers do. They work each other. They do. They always talk about how much they lie and they have fun lying. They're working. They're always working. So I see what you're saying, E, about the personal connection. I get that for sure. Nikki Bella,
there's also, before you go too far, also there's an honor amongst thieves, right? There's a certain code that you live by, right? Regardless of the type of situation that you're in. Like, so if you're in a gang and you guys do scoundrel type stuff, but say, hey, we don't do this scoundrel thing, right? When you go do that thing, it's a problem.
But so to that though, this wasn't a Seth Rollins work. This was a WWE work using Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like Seth was and lied about his injury so he could get out of working some dates or because he was taking a vacation, but he's gonna be back. No, this was used to get what we got night one at SummerSlam. Right. So like that's creative from wrestling. What I was gonna say was Nikki Bella talked about how her and Seth, she said, talked for like 30 minutes about his knee and how injured he was. She's like, she had no idea. I guess he was talking about, how messed up the knee was the first time, just all that, just giving it to her. But I am sure once again, I don't think Nikki Bella, and I'm not saying her and he are friends like that. I am sure when she saw it was a work, she probably I'm sure she got a kick out of it.
I think so too.
Right. Son of a bitch, you working.
I think right. I think that's how I kind of think that, because at the end of the day, you are okay. So yeah, maybe in that split second, fuck you. Like, that's messed up. I actually
but can we say on the reports that maybe a good many people didn't feel that way?
Well, and there you go.
Right?
Right.
And then
there you go.
We talk about we always talk about what was happening back in the day. Taker, he's on a podcast the other day. He was talking about how, when you were at the show, your eyes was on the monitors. You was watching the show. Right? He was saying that people nowadays, they playing video games. Like, for a fact they playing video games in the locker room, right? They going home early. He like, yo, that's y'all wouldn't make it back in my day. Right? Things are different now. Right? We talk about, look, we older cats in the world. So we know that people feel things differently than they ever have before. We can go on X and see if people are different the way they feel about things, right? So it's a different world in general, I'm pretty sure it's a different world in the locker room. So I'm just saying this, like, I see both perspectives, but I also understand there's a human side of things that maybe people felt a general concern, like, right? And they like, look, like, you talked to me for 30 minutes to an hour about your knee. I felt bad. I gave you energy that I can't take back. Like, right? Now, the caveat is, I did it for my jib. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you're in hey, look, let's just say what it is, man. Like, it's not healthy to put your job over your family and your friends. That's not healthy.
So maybe his friends outside of wrestling they have a beef between them.
Right.
Outside of wrestling.
Right, I can see that.
Because I'm not getting any, like, I don't connect to this. Right. I'm not there.
Yeah.
But anybody who was in the building, and to your point, evidently there's some people, because then this report wouldn't be out. I just think it's preposterous for somebody to be upset who works in the company that he worked an injury that was used for one of two major and massive storylines and matches at the second biggest show of WWE's year.
I don't think it's that. I feel like it's one of them things. Let someone feel how they want to feel. Right? Let people feel how they want to feel. Right? But let's talk about it. Right? After we talk about it, now it's time to move on from it. Right? Now, if you're going to hold a grudge for the rest of my life because of this thing, that's an issue. But in the moment, people can feel and however they want to feel about it. Like, right? I can't knock any person, man or woman, for feeling how they feel about anything. Right? But it's all right. What do you do after that? Like, right? What do you do once we're past that moment? Like, what's next for us? Right? Are we beefed out now? Now, if we beefed out, like, right, that's an issue. Like, right? Because, you know, I feel I need to do what I need to do in the moment for my job. Like, right? My bad. I love you. Right? Now, after that, you still mad at me and it's on for life and it's on site. That's a different type of thing. Like, right? But let people feel how they want to feel. That's how I am. I'm about everybody. Look, feel how you want to feel. Be who you want to be. but when you disrespect me and the money team,
there you go.
Yeah. And you know, I'll land on this and I'll say, because it brought back some memories. I do remember, and again, I'm not in the wrestling business at all, but I do remember I had a what I would call a friend at work be notified of a promotion opportunity, and she got the promotion. And it was on the hush hush, kind of what Matt was saying. Like, it's not that it was your thing. It was just more so of the company is making this happen. So you're not really at liberty to share. And to the point where, like, you were not at liberty to share. My issue that I caught feelings on was somebody from a whole different location had reached out and said, hey, I'm about to put you up on game. This is the whispers that's coming out of this situation, and such is getting a promotion. So I had already known for a couple of weeks about the situation that was not really a thing. And then finally, when it was announced, not even the morning of before it was announced, she never even came to tell me, hey, something's coming out today. Hey, it wasn't really up to me. So when it finally did come out, I found out with everybody else, and I considered her a friend. I really did. So I was really, really in my feelings. And maybe even to this day, I still have some feelings toward her, her doing that with me. We eventually made up, and I kind of said that was messed up. If someone else who I wasn't even close with was able to put me up on game weeks before this happened, you could have at least said, hey, some things are happening, Rhodesia. I can't really tell you what's going on, but some things are happening. That morning of, she could have said, something's about to be announced. I can't really tell you about it. And that's kind of where I caught my feelings. So maybe his close friends, like, let's say if Roman cared, if Seth was hurt or not hurt, and Seth lied to Roman, I could probably see Roman be like, oh, F you. But I can also see Roman say, oh, that was good. You got me. But I could see somebody catching feelings for that. I really can.
So that takes us to Scarlett and Karrion Kross. We kind of broke down the whole work shoot thing just in generalities. But for me, I would be shocked. Well, let me take that back. I wouldn't be shocked at anything from this. I just don't see a world where it makes sense that WWE did not re-sign Karrion Kross and Scarlett. And this is not coming from me being the Karrion Kross fan and the Scarlett fan that I am and that we are on the podcast. That is coming from someone that sees and hears the support he was getting on television and online, the merchandise sales of his t-shirts, the TV equity he was getting, especially with Sammy just now. And on one end, you can say, hey, that was Triple H's way and Creator's way of giving him a nice send-off. You know, we're not going to re-sign you. We don't have much for you. I know we kind of haven't had a lot for you. You've been the background guy. You've been the guy that has started a lot of these storylines through the TikTok and turning people bad, but you don't get any of the credit on the back end of it. You're just the intro person. But let's get you out on a high note and get you, you know, a 60-day, 90-day program with Sammy. I could see a world where that happens. But with how WWE has been with signing certain people, this one would be a head scratcher times 2 if this is legit. I think it's a work. I've always thought it was a work. I will always think it's a work until he shows up in AEW. And I don't even know if AEW is a great spot for him. But until then, he could go to Impact this week. I'm going to think it's a work.
Well, yeah,
he
because
could work
he's still part of
independent show. I'm going to think it's a work. If he shows up on AEW, then I know it wasn't a work. So that's kind of just where I'm at, right? Because I don't get it. I don't understand why they wouldn't re-sign him. The things don't make sense. You know, that promo that went crazy WrestleMania weekend that he cut about not being on the show, and that was 100% a work, but they were making it look like a shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, but we know that's a work. He is too professional to go out and just shit on the entire company and didn't get a pre-approval. Come on, like, let's not do that. And he didn't get any recourse or, you know, discourse of action when he got back to work.
Right, that's the part right there. You actually got on TV.
So everything they've been just doing with them, it's all been work. It's all been work. Heyman on the Ariel show, and this is one of the bigger ones for me. If he didn't say this, I still would think it was a work. But I'm stamping it. Some people took it as he was 100% comparing Karrion Kross to Stone Cold Steve Austin. That really wasn't the case. All he was saying was, that's great. He has a groundswell. Keep it going. People are talking about him. If we were using him the way people would want, you know, would people really be clamoring for him? Keep bubbling. Keep bubbling. You know, last time the fans wanted somebody and they act like this, his name was Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was kind of what he said. But I would think Paul Heyman would know a week before Karrion Kross's contract is up if WWE is going to re-sign him. And I would think, now granted, Paul is Paul. So that could be Paul's way of telling Karrion Kross, go out there and get your money. Right? You go be the star. You know you can be. We're always going to be here. In years when you've made your so undeniable, they got to re-sign you and give you a push, come back. That could have been Paul doing that. Paul is known to tell people, if you're not happy here, leave. I just don't think he says that. If Karrion Kross is not coming back to WWE, then the talks were about, well, if he's not mentioned on Raw Monday, then we know it's probably a shoot. Well, that's the dumbest thing in the world. If we are doing a work shoot, you don't pay it off in a week. This needs to get weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and maybe even a few months until either he's forgot about or he's working so much on the indies that we have completely just let our guard down, and then he comes back. But this should not be paid off for quite some time if it's a work. So I'll throw it to you two. Do you guys think it's a work or do you think it's a shoot? At this point now, because your answers may have changed over the last 2 weeks with everything that's been going on. And what would you do with it?
I think that both ways work, shoot. I think I felt all mirage of emotion in the last couple of weeks. Now, I didn't see what he did this past Sunday. He went live. I don't know if much came from that. So I wasn't able to get online to see what he was talking about there. But where I'm at...
He put his part 2 of his documentary out, and then he talked about how he is a free agent. His contract is up.
Got it.
So for me, even that.
Got it, right.
You're releasing part 2 of your documentary at the same time your contract's up.
Yeah.
And then you don't use that to leverage what you're doing next.
Right.
Right. That's a move you do when you are signed to AEW.
And then
and then the last graphic is Killer Kross is now all elite.
Yeah.
Or that's a move you do when you immediately drop the 5 or 6 dream matches on the indies that you just signed on for. he didn't do anything after that.
I guess there's just not a blueprint for how I should feel as far as H's farewell. So like I look at how Vince would do his send off people. The last one that I could remember was how he shitted on Dean Ambrose before he left. I know they had one final hurrah match, but they treated him like crap up until that point. I know how Tony Khan treats his talent that he has out the door. He doesn't even bring them to work. So I can get emotionally set for if this is a real situation of this is the writings on the wall, this is normal practice, business practice for these people that's leaving. But Kross is different. And so maybe hearing the way that you're saying it, I might have to believe that it's a work too, just because of, again, I remember him giving it to it at WrestleMania weekend. You don't do that at all. You just don't do that. It's not even if you get it clear, like, so I had to be getting worked at that point. And then, yes, I came on here and I talked mad junk about WWE, how he hadn't had a match in 2.5 months. First match was in Saudi, and then he finally had a match on TV or on PLE. But like, to me, at the end of the day, he still had his face, his images, him and his wife, their package, whatever they're doing, on TV almost every single Raw. Like, that's still pretty impressive and in a good position. So you weren't like a Tozawa who would get beat up and squashed every week. You know, you're just the person who's going to take the L, take the pin. No, you actually had some pretty good moments to the point where the fans did uproar for you. So could this be H's way of saying, hey, you've always been a good worker to me. We've always had a great working relationship. We're not going to resign you for whatever the reasons are, but I'm not going to shit on you on your way out. I just don't know Triple H's blueprint right now on how he would treat somebody who contract is expiring and if they have a good working relationship. I don't know that. So I can't view one way or another. So I'm going to have to land on it's a work, because if you are allowed to do these things, you are allowed to have a platform. Like, to me, they would have probably shut that shit down already. So I'm going to have to say, to answer your question, it's a work. Again, if it is, let it be a really, really good payoff. And if that is time from this moment now, give us 6 months, give us Survivor Series, something like that, then so be it.
You know, I would like to say it's a work. Just simply, like, I don't feel like the WWE will let a talented guy like Karrion Kross go. And they've kind of built up this much equity just to put him on TV. Because, like, what I like to discuss at you know, absolutely, we got some good time. We're at some good time right now. But I don't think the WWE is that petty to go after AEW, right? But we got some PLEs going against pay-per-views that seem like it's pretty petty to me. But if they're this petty to go after them and try to take some money out of their pocket, like, why would you take a dude like Karrion Kross, get him hot in your television, just to release him out there in the streets? Like, right, just to make somebody hot for another promotion. Right, let's say devil's advocate, this is a shoot, right? They let him go. He's not coming back. Like, where does he go next? Like, right, if you're Tony Khan, now Tony Khan didn't sign him last time he was free agent. Like, right, but he didn't.
He wanted to bring him in. He wanted to bring him. So did you hear what he wanted to do with him?
No.
So he wanted to bring him in for basically like a one shot. You know how, remember, they were bringing in some people, like, but he wanted to bring him in for like a one-shotter. Yeah, and it's like, for me, I was irritated because I'm like, you don't use him for that. Like, he's got to tell stories, you know, that kind of thing. But
you bring him in for a one-shot. So you bring him in for a one-shot, so you're not interested.
So you bring him like Stephanie, if I care.
Yeah, because you bring in, you know, he brought in multiple people.
He wanted more.
No, through the cut, but you don't bring him, so you're not, so he wasn't really that interested, right? So now this time, he brings him in, he's hot on WWE content. However, and this is when we're talking about it, because, you know, when Rhodesia and I was talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, you know, he's hot, he's gonna, you know, get some killer promos. Because we saw what we can do in that press conference, right? Work or shoot. That was a very engaging promo, right? So you could tell he can captivate an audience, and he could do it well on the microphone, right? AEW likes people who can talk on the microphone, right? Mm-hmm. But then that bell has to ring. That bell has to ring, and I just don't know if he's the type of worker that Tony Khan can get behind. Because for me as a fan, he seems to be more about the in-ring action more so than the storytelling and the character stuff. When
you think Kross is more in ring?
I think he's character. So my point is saying, my point is I don't think Tony Khan is the type of I don't think he's the type of worker that Tony Khan will see value in.
So great topic and discussion, and you are balls on. I mean, it's called all elite wrestling, and I think they've really taken part of this is why they've turned it around in terms of perception and quality. They stopped assigning everybody. Remember, anybody who was available.
Well, they don't need to because they got 1,000 people on the roster and half of them they're not using. So sure, they shouldn't.
Right. So now it's all right, you got to be able to go in the ring to get a contract here.
You got to.
That's, you know what I'm saying? That's where it's got to start. I don't think Kross is by far the worst in-ring worker if he signs to AEW tomorrow.
No.
But Kross is also not going to give me 25 minutes on an AEW pay-per-view with anybody where I'm like...
You're not going to put Karrion Kross or Killer Kross, which his name would be.
Right.
You're not putting him in the ring with one of them luchadors for 20 minutes to start the show. You're not going to do that.
We're not getting that AEW style match that we're used to. Now, if he goes and converts back to what he was doing a lot of on the indies, Killer Kross, Miami, just crazy MMA influence moves, cool. I still don't think it's the all elite wrestling style.
Yeah.
Right? But what he has the mind to do and what we've seen just in WWE over the last, I would say 12 months or so, is, oh man, he's got some great ideas that could really work somewhere like AEW. So I do think that. But yeah, if you're talking, do I think right now from just strictly in ring, should he sign to AEW? I would get a little worried.
And then
if
you
he
think
works
about
the same type of way he works now.
And you think about the Tony Khan booking style, right? He believes that the company is at its best when he's running the majority of the creative. So how much input is he really going to get from Killer Kross? How much content can he give Tony Khan and we actually see it utilized on TV? To me, Karrion Kross will be ready made for TNA. Right, because they will give him the time to tell his story and to express his character fully on the program. I feel TNA will be the perfect fit for Karrion. He's honestly, I think the sky's the limit for the guy. I'm actually, that's not backup. I feel like he's best as he's a big fish in small pond type guy. Because let's look at what's happened on WWE program over the past couple of years since he's been back. They've given him some start-stop pushes. Right, they kind of put him out there a little bit, then take him off TV. The Final Testament, right? They gave him a whole squad, barely used them, barely on TV. Right before that, he was barely used on TV. After that, he was barely used on TV. Right, and you talk about a company that has lots of hours of television that they can devote to a character. I think it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with my man Aleister Black. I feel like he hasn't been properly used.
Well, that kind of goes back to SmackDown, right? Because we've been talking about that with Melo. You can definitely say it with Aleister Black. There is somebody else who I was like, yo, they really aren't doing anything.
They ain't
with
doing
this person.
shit with these guys. Andrade's over there doing it. SmackDown is almost that's another conversation. Could we jump into too many things? But that's another conversation. I don't know what they're doing on SmackDown, man. Creatively, it just doesn't have the same oomph that I get when I watch Raw. I don't know, maybe because Paul Heyman isn't involved in the show enough, behind the scenes, or what the issue is. But that show just is like flat pop.
And you look at the people that's over there, we should care. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Carmelo Hayes, Street Profits, Bianca Belair soon.
What does the MFT stand for?
Chelsea Green.
My Family Tree.
My Family Tree.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So you look at all those names. I don't even care right now to watch SmackDown. I'm locked in on Raw every single week. Now, granted, I've been traveling, but I was at home this past Friday. No, I wasn't. But when I came home, whatever day I came home, I had an opportunity to watch it. I watched the open because I wanted to see what Cena was going to do in his promo. And then I didn't have time to watch the rest. And I was like, okay, well, let me just pull up the SmackDown highlights on YouTube so I can catch up and I can be good. The highlight package for this past Friday, I think, was 12 minutes. 6.5 of those minutes was the opening promo from John Cena.
Wow.
So that just really basically tells you not much went down on SmackDown this past week. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just, when Fridays come around, Orton's over there, I'm just not excited to watch it. And it has nothing to do with the talent that's there. To me, it has all to do with how it's presented and just where that show's kind of been.
And you see a guy like Karrion Kross, like why can't he get 5 minutes, 6 minutes to do character work on that show? Like, why couldn't you give? Actually, I thought of an idea. I'm like, you know what? I might want to see Karrion Kross and Aleister Black together, like doing some dark
Kross
promo type stuff.
I mean, that would be good. But so you said you think that Kross is a big fish in a small pond type guy. I could argue and say I think he may better be a guy who is very well equipped to be in a group. Either he can be the leader of the group or he can be a supporting piece of the group. But I think that may be where he really would thrive, is in a group setting.
But he's a talker. So you would think he would be one of the guys out front, like, right, which he kind of was for the Final Testament. Like, I think it would have been interesting because I think he had an interview with somebody and he had mentioned that when Bray Wyatt was alive, he actually did a pitch for Karrion Kross and the Righteous, Benny and Dutch, and I'm not sure if they were free agents at the time, how they got pitched. But he had pitched for those three to be on a different brand and be kind of an extension of the Wyatt family. And they would have some crossover between the two factions, right? The kind of coherently, like working together. Like something like that would be interesting for Karrion. But again,
when I saw that, I thought, when I heard him say that, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, that's what we're getting in the future.
Oh,
that was the first thing. Like, even to the point where I'm like, I wonder if he's lying on Bray. Of course, he loves Bray. Put Bray into this. Bray would absolutely love it. Right? If he said, we had this conversation. But I swear to you, because I'm thinking to myself, whenever you were talking about the Righteous, they had no momentum going for national television to be an extension of the Wyatt family. So that means that we don't even know who these guys are if you only watch wrestling on television. So pitching Karrion to get with two guys that aren't on TV anywhere, like, so that's just where my mind was going. Because I'm like doing the math. I'm like, damn, I don't know if that makes sense. But I was like, holy hell, that'd be a hell of a jumping off point if we get them, and that would be in WWE because the Righteous has been gone from AEW.
I have no idea. I know they were on ROH.
And, yep.
I was about to ask that. I was like, so I'm getting so confused here. I thought the Righteous was the guys in white on AEW. At what point?
Snappers.
Yeah. At what point were they part of WWE? Were they in NXT or something?
No, they were never part.
Right.
Yeah. They were never part of WWE. But Bray Wyatt had pitched possibly for them to come in.
Got it.
At some point and join Karrion as a faction of the Wyatt family.
Got it.
Which would be interesting. I mean, I like the idea of the Righteous, but they didn't do anything with them in AEW or ROH. They actually at one point, I don't remember what it was. Oh, didn't they MJF beat him on a pay-per-view single-handedly?
Yeah. You know what's cool? It's two guys.
He said MJF beat him. So it was 1-on-2.
Yeah.
It was cool for you. Remember that? That was when he had remember Kel was injured. He had the tag titles. He was defending.
Yeah. Because he opened the show and also ended the show. Yeah. I do remember that now.
Yeah. He opened the show, beat two men.
And it's so one. I think he won the end, right? Something like that.
Oh man, what a bad booking.
It was really cool to see the Righteous for the first time in AEW when they came out in Chicago, and I don't know if that was, I don't think that was the first time, but they had not been around AEW long at all, and doing the snaps and like nothing, like the crowd's not doing it.
I
with
don't
them.
even remember the snaps.
For them to come back, it may have been like 2 times later, and they worked Ring of Honor, and the crowd is snapping with them, and I was like, that's really cool that they got it over.
Don't remember.
Right,
that.
like they got it over.
Yeah, like Vinny is the guy. He has like long gray dreads, and he's always snapping. And then there's like a big dude behind him named Dutch. Yeah. He looked like Colonel Sanders.
You know,
I'm waiting for him to bring out a bucket of chicken. We come out there.
I thought Vinny was the guy. He reminded me of the man in The Walking Dead. The black guy with the sword kind of thing.
Maybe.
I think he had a sword, whatever.
Maybe.
We stopped watching Walking Dead a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, along with everybody else. Once the redhead.
When Negan came in.
Yeah, Negan came in. He killed
you could have shot him. Y'all could have just shot him right there. Him,
and then they just let him take over, and he killed everybody. Yeah, it was a wrap.
Didn't Negan turn like good guy at some point too?
Who knows? I stopped watching.
Well, I think maybe
like in the next,
because he kind of had that little that could have been type, but then he would just like knock your head off with the bat.
Yeah,
to the brains.
But you know what? This one second before we leave that, you know they actually came out with a Rick and Michonne Walking Dead series.
Right. I think I heard about that
because they found out Rick was still alive. I don't know how he died, but Rick was alive, and she went and got him, and they had like a little mini series. I actually was interested to go back to see them two together. I do like those two.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I completely was out on Walking Dead after Negan. Like, he destroyed the episode, and I thought he was fantastic. Actor was great. Character is super strong, but like I was just like, okay, this is bothering me. And that happens a lot to me, like in regular shows where characters like really bother me to the point where I don't even want to watch anymore.
You know, Severance, season 2.
And it's funny because actually Bobby sent me a question, and it was that.
What was it? What's the question?
Let me pull it up really quick. It was about like hating characters. And I told him, I was like, we'll hit that on the podcast. He's like, yeah. He's like, wait until the podcast. Shout out to Bobby. We finished a whole bottle of Eagle Rare at the bar, which like I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
He said, have you ever disliked a wrestler as much as E dislikes John Cena? Although now it sounds like he's saying John Cena the character, not the person. If you go back and listen to the old podcast, it was John Cena the person, or at least it felt that way because the way he attacked him personally.
Hello, Brock Lesnar.
That's you. So have he ever? So you think you legit hate Brock Lesnar as much as E hates John Cena?
Maybe more.
Damn. Okay.
Hey, I would like to say that. No, what me talking about John Cena, his bald ass head, like, you know, there's a couple articles that he said that the bullying he got from the fans, encouraged him to get the hair check. Like, what are you talking? As I told you 2 years ago, brother. Like, how are you gonna be a multi-millionaire and you ain't gonna do? Man, look, I'll leave this Rogaine alone so fast, bro. If I can just get like a hair transplant and be good, like, why? Like,
because it didn't matter. He's still getting his bag. He didn't care.
Oh,
as fickle as fans. No,
he got a bald spot because he had a whole thing up here, right? And he combed it on over, right? Like, bro, he combed it on over. So, right? No, so if you combing it over, you cared about it, man. You could have been got that transplant card the big day, man. What you talking about, John Cena? That's what I'm talking. Like, you know what? That's why I don't like that. That's the wrestling character, John Cena. That was a stupid ass comment, man. You was just lazy, just like your work.
He's just like
lazy.
Oh, come on, let's not do that.
Trifling. So you said Brock. I mean, I probably disliked these two people at the time more than E dislikes John Cena because I stopped watching wrestling because of it. It was JBL and it was Edge. Like I've told the story a couple times before on the show how like I've worked myself into a shoot, but I didn't think they were entertaining. Like JBL I thought sucked. Yeah. I didn't like his matches. I didn't think like every match he cheated to win. And it's like, yeah, it's the whole heel one-on-one type thing. At that time when he was on top on SmackDown, I wasn't here for it.
I think he was a little past his time. for that type of wrestler and what was happening.
Or early, because I'm sure if he was around now, I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be like,
okay.
This
He just wasn't
great.
the timing wasn't
y'all
right.
Y'all missed the train. JB, that was a good character.
Yeah, man.
That was a good character.
And then it was Edge for me, the Radar Superstar. I thought that he just wasn't what he was being pushed to be.
Oh, that's not.
And I was like, this guy's on top. Like, of course, they're both legends.
I'm surprised y'all like these good characters y'all like, but then y'all ride from John Cena. Oh, whack ass, man.
Dude, John Cena's, you know he's retiring this year, right? We only got 10 of these things to go.
Yeah, fuck him.
Speaking of, hey, so real quick, we'll go ahead and do that. Because they're coming to Chicago.
You said go ahead and do that?
Well, 10 inches. They're coming to Chicago.
All 10.
And I'm waiting to see these prices drop. His last time ever in Chicago. It's a SmackDown show.
Oh, is it?
And I haven't checked the ticket prices in a few days.
Front row.
Let's see how much they cost now. They come out the gate now just like absurd.
Yeah,
it'd be like $600 first level. Like,
it's crazy. These prices, yeah.
All right, so where we typically would sit, section 110. Row 2 is right now $572. And then those are platinum seats.
Where's that?
3 rows behind that is $398. So you're talking about for 2 tickets, almost $1,000 after fees to go see a SmackDown show.
That's not parking. That's not gas. That's not concessions.
Yeah,
I'm not that debit card.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Prices drop, of course, but so yeah. All right, so price now is at $331.
And where is it? When is it? You said
that is on September 5th.
September. Okay.
Yep. All right. Anything else y'all want to hit on with Karrion and Scarlett?
Karrion and Scarlett, no. Done.
So let's before we transition to, I want to hit the news about the All Out pay-per-view.
Okay.
And that we're going to, because it's associated with John Cena, right? We got John Cena and Brock Lesnar on an unnamed PLE will headline against AEW All Out. I'm just really curious this business plan that WWE has about having these PLEs against these AEW pay-per-views, because I'm really interested in the reason behind them.
It gotta be it not sitting right with Triple H.
Well, it's to stunt their growth is the reason.
Yeah, it's
to stunt their growth.
You're not letting them.
You don't want to let them get any momentum. Yep. Don't let them get any headlines by themselves. Yep. Everything they do, we're going to step on it.
Yeah. And there has to be some kind of personal feelings on it too, that he being Triple H is in a position now where he can do those things more so than when he was in NXT going against Dynamite at the time. But again, like I don't want to sound like I'm being a hypocrite here. I'm okay with this counter programming with John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I think I was just a little bit uptight on the whole women's evolution thing against. I forgot the name of the show already, but I think to me, it just really just depend on the show itself. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be a hypocrite on this stance here. Like in this case here, I'm okay with. I think I've always said I was okay with counter. I think I always said I was okay with counter programming. I think I've always said that. My beef and gripe last time was just that you were going against the weekend of the women's evolution, and I thought that was supposed to have been a special weekend, and that should have been reserved for them. I think that was my beef. But overall, counter programming, I'm okay with it because again, like you want to be the best show. You're a category of one. You want to be the best show in town. You got to always be the best show in town. I mean, for business stances, I guess I don't have a problem with it.
To me, I'm wondering as a person, because when I look at the AEW pay-per-view audience, who's paying $50 for these AEW shows?
Like 125,000 people, I think, typically. Okay. I think that's about the number, right?
Maybe. All right, so 125,000. Like, those are diehard AEW fans that probably aren't hardcore diehard WWE fans. To be quite honest. Right? Because you think about the WWE audience, like, I don't think that they're going to, see anything AEW do and say, you know what? I want to drop $50 and I want to watch this show. Especially if they're not necessarily tuning in to the program on a weekly basis. because their watch audience is up and down still. They haven't had really any major momentum since their last big show. They've had a lot of shows that have been up and down on viewership. So you think that these fans who aren't watching weekly are going to tune in on a Saturday or Sunday and drop $50 to see it? I just don't think that their audience is going to do that. I think the people who are watching AEW pay-per-views are going to tune in to watch the AEW pay-per-view regardless of what they put on.
You mean regardless of what WWE puts on?
Yeah, I mean, because think about it. Think about that audience, right? Think about they're smart fans, right? They're smart fans. So if I'm an AEW fan and I'm willing to drop $50 to see AEW programming, right? I also understand that I can see that PLE on Peacock anytime I want to.
Right. No, I mean, that's a valid point.
That's right, before and after, right? So I'm still going to watch me some AEW pay-per-view, and I'll just watch the Peacock show another day.
And that's why I wonder if it's more of the perception of the headlines. So perception and the perception headlines, right? Like if the weekend in wrestling really for All In was about Evolution.
Yeah.
Goldberg's retirement and All In. And maybe in that, if you look at in totality, I'm talking probably like Google searches and like all that, right? Web traffic, media impressions. I'm talking all that.
That's fair. I see where you're going with that.
That's probably where it was at. If not, maybe Goldberg even being number one because of the botched promo at the end.
No,
so
you're right. Yeah,
us talking about that.
Yep,
you got USA Today just talking about Bill Goldberg retired after 30. Just all of that. But I think if you don't have that, the headlines are now about Timeless Toni Storm beating Mercedes Moné, giving her first loss in X amount of years. It is finally the horrible storyline of the Death Riders, which probably worked, I guess, now, right? Because we cared about Hangman and we are talking about the heel or the babyface got to give that heat to whoever they drop the title to. Finally takes back for AEW. It makes it sound different, right? And that's how momentum comes, because then somebody could say, to your point about the WWE fan, may say, oh, you know what? Let me check out Dynamite Wednesday and see what that looked like. But now we don't have time because we're talking about Io Shirai and
Io Shirai. Let's go,
we talking about Naomi, which...
That was my Rhodesia's remembers.
What you got?
I think I had the big three wrong. I done put a charge on Bianca being pregnant. What if Naomi's the one who's pregnant? We don't have a full explanation.
We don't have a full explanation. They said she was there at the show. She was there at the show backstage. Then they announced mid-afternoon that she did not get cleared to wrestle. They are saying that it is very tight-lipped on the reason why they started the show with that announcement, which I felt a certain type of way by them not telling us what was wrong. I felt like you may be getting people in a worry for no reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I was kind of like, I didn't like that call.
Yeah.
But if she is pregnant, I think two things. I think that's the funniest shit in the world.
Such is life.
During this incredible run.
Such is life.
During her best run of her career.
Yes.
She now gets pregnant.
Yes.
When she was fearing to glow that whole time.
She could have been glowing in real life. She could have been glowing pregnant.
But I actually hope that's the case.
Yeah.
And not because I want them to have kids. They got enough. For me, it's because of how this run will look. She didn't have a time to drop.
This
is going to look, when we look back at this, of that was her time, that was her year. How can you debate it? One of the quickest, best runs, blah, 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 et cetera. Some best character work, all of that.
Yeah.
She has been here and she stayed there.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me we're just going to write her off because she got pregnant?
It's like it's like Biggie. It's like Biggie.
Give me that.
It's like Biggie and Tupac.
She didn't have a chance to drop that sophomore slump album.
Yep.
She dropped that Get Rich or Die Trying and dipped to go have a baby.
Yep.
Man, give me that.
So E, what you think it is? You think that just her being a bad girl, and you think she's injured? So in trouble? Injured?
Well, we know she's hurt. We know she's
well
we
she's
know
not
she
medically
didn't get
cleared. Medically cleared.
We know she didn't get cleared.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I heard on saw some stuff online. This is why I filter my ex stuff. Like, oh yeah, they're working the boys again. Like, right, they're tricking us again, right? Like, everything is everything is done working. Then he's like, oh, I don't believe a thing that WWE says. She's coming back at the end of the show. Look, I think it's fun to say she's pregnant. That'd be pretty cool.
I ain't gonna lie, I cried. I watched Becky's announcement to Asuka when she had to forfeit her title today. And again, man, the Thunderdome is like, that feels like another lifetime. That didn't even feel like this existence of my being. That felt like so foreign and just not even right. But watching that, I was just like, I cried because she's like, why you off being champ? I'm about to be off and being a mama. And that was just like so beautiful. And I come on the show and I talk about all the time. Matt always say, I'm impregnating somebody on this show all the time. But if you're in a position where you can mentally, physically, financially, and you want it, hell yeah. It's important. That's what matters in life, is family, bonding, human connection.
Hey guys, so we hit that time limit pretty soon, but I got two quick things.
Oh, no, man, you can jump off. I got a lot more left.
Buddy. We got it. Hey, y'all internet connection is dropping off already. We still gotta
talk about Punk, LA Knight. We gotta talk about
Punk,
EO and Roxanne. I still gotta get to like 2 or 3 listener
about a good 5 minutes. Y'all ain't got that much time. Y'all think y'all got like, you know.
All right,
that's suburban, brother. That suburban internet is gonna kick y'all off any minute.
Through it.
But I do go, like, what did y'all think about Bayley's video package?
Loved it. I thought it was great because we don't know what we're getting from it, and whatever it is different.
Yeah,
right. Like, it looks like she's going to not go crazy, but like have not a split personality gimmick, but
because there's like a weird laugh at the end of the
and it was the ding dong again. So she goes from I don't know who I am, I hate myself, that whole thing, to going back to ding dong hello. And we remember what that Hill character was like, over the top, goofy kind of a thing. But I thought it was great. I thought she was able to show her range, of course, like in that. And I'm excited they're actually going to do something with her. Right? Even when she was champion, we talked about it. She was always setting up the next person. Like, a lot of her storylines are not about her. It's about who she's in the storyline with. So it looks like now she's going to get an all eyes on her opportunity on Raw, which, they have a pretty good division over there. But I liked it, man. I did. I liked it a lot.
I thought it was phenomenal. And then in addition to that, I'm like, oh, this is really good. We talked about it, I think, before Mania. We're saying that, hey, we wish they put more attention to the women's division in their stories. Yeah. And they got some nice stories happening on that show, right? We're seeing the development of Bayley. We got Laura's, something's with her character. Like, well, like whatever's happening with Bayley ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, right? Like, I like they're doing something with her. You got the Kabuki Warriors potentially turning heel.
Ain't no potential. Asuka is gonna beat EO's ass, bro.
Right? So,
man.
Right. So then, Rhea's probably gonna be, it seems like we're having we talked about it before, like on Arrow, like you had the big bad, like the major story, and you had all these different things happening throughout the course of the season, but the big storyline was Arrow versus this guy. I think that this is gonna be a continuous story with EO and Rhea Ripley, right? And they might even carry it, hopefully, until not SummerSlam, until Mania, right? We finally get that one-on-one match that's eluded us all year, right? They're gonna kind of be intertwined with each other. So we have that going on, right? And then we still got whatever Becky's doing with the championship. She's doing a great job. And then we got whatever's happening with the tag team. With the world championship. So you think about just on the Raw brand itself, there's a lot of storylines that they have with women are pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Kudos to them.
It's been good stuff. It's been really, really good stuff. So we talked about Trinity. And of course, thoughts and prayers. Hopefully everything is good. But for her to be at the building, you would think if it was something like just a concussion, that would have came out.
Right.
So of course we just hope everything's good with her. Yeah. I told Rhodesia was also strange. She hasn't tweeted in like 4 days. And she's been a master online since she's turned heel with putting content out and, just doing her craziness. She hasn't done anything in like 4 days. So
I do hope that everything's okay with her.
Yeah, hope everything's all good. Yeah. But if she is pregnant, that's the way you go out, baby. That's the way you go out. But
Jimmy getting it done. In
Big Jim,
right?
Big Jim.
And, you know, another reason why I think this is also incredible too.
Why?
This is the reason. This is number one. She probably was gonna fucking lose the title at the next pay-per-view anyway. To Stephanie Vecchio. Right?
But, and she shouldn't, and she should not. And we can have that conversation now or later. Pregnant,
she probably asked, like, okay, so how long am I hold this title for? Is like we give you, you know, a couple months run, get you a nice win.
Hey, do you think the mastermind behind the whole thing was my man Big Cheeks, aka Big Keish?
Oh, Big Keish wrote this.
Wait, no, if he didn't, he's gonna take credit that he did.
Big Keish wrote this. He said, "Why you think they call him Big Jim?" I wrote that. I said, "Get her pregnant." Big Keish.
They gonna take the championship off to Naomi? Hell no, Jimmy, go ahead and plug her up. For the next.
Since when did Rikishi turn to an 80-year-old man with no teeth from the South? Io and Roxanne. There's nothing to say, but just like, man, literally, I could watch those women wrestle like all day, every single week. So I went to go tweet about them, and a tweet that I did in May popped up. Luckily for me, so I just quote tweeted and it was like, still. And I think the tweet was basically like, you know, they put me in my happy place. Mm-hmm. So they must have worked a match on Raw back in May. But my God, man, like they are just so good. We talk about EO all the time. Just so comfortable. No, like just they are fan-fucking-tastic. And I just hope that they do Roxanne right. And I'm not talking about give her a title this year. I'm not talking like that. But she is special. Man, like she's really, really good. I mean, no, right now I think she's great. Yeah. I think she has it all. I know before was talking about he was a little worried about her character. You know, she's got that part down, but you put her in the ring, and whoever she's in the ring with does not have to worry about slowing down or stepping a notch down at all.
At all. Whenever you hear something like the prodigy, whatever superlative you want to use to advertise somebody, you kind of, after a while, you say, oh, that's just hyperbole. But she is really just good. She is a once-in-a-lifetime baller. Like, she really can go in the ring. And I do see a huge future with her. I can see her being multiple-time champion just because she has it so well in the ring. And she's cute and exciting to look at. And a lot of times that has something to do, too, with how you are as a character. If we can buy into it, you got to look good. That's kind of how I feel. And you're looking good.
She's very exciting to look at.
I'm talking on her face.
I should have got her a couple more drinks.
She was a child, Matt.
She was not a child.
Matt, she was 21.
Oh my God. How
old? She was 21. That's
what'd you think about EO while I look up this age of Roxanne and EO?
She was 21, Matt.
Hey, 21 is an adult though.
No, it's not. Not when you're you came on here and said you were 50 years old.
Oh man.
You on here talking about you 50 years old.
It only took you 200 plus episodes to bring you arguing facts to the podcast. This is what I got to deal with Rhodesia and Matt too. They will argue 1 + 1 is not 2.
She is a child.
She just argued that the age of 21 is not an adult. Where on God's green earth is the age of 21 years old not an adult?
If you know, you know, whatever that acronym is. If you know, you know. If you are a person who is a sexual being and you are 50 years old, like the way E say he is, you should not be saying a 21-year-old is an adult.
She's an adult.
That's
so
nasty.
you're saying a 50-year-old should then lie and be wrong about what the age of an adult is?
No, I would just think that you shouldn't be looking at a 21-year-old like that.
Ooh-wee. TFW fans, freaks.
I'm absolutely placing judgment on that.
Time
I'm absolutely placing judgment on that.
On a typical weekly basis.
If I was 60,
yes,
right, and I was about to holler at a 31-year-old, would that be
She's not an adult. She's not an adult. So a 31-year-old in this universe is not an adult.
First off,
45
that's still a difference. That's a little bit of a difference. 31 and 61 is still a little bit of a difference than 21 and 50 years old. That's still a big difference. It's still a big difference.
We aren't even arguing if what age should be what in terms of relationships. All I'm saying is you are arguing facts that a 21-year-old is an adult. in every place
my God.
in this
okay.
world.
So
in the universe.
Legally at 18 in the United States, you are an adult. You are
So there you
for
go.
most statute of
Don't argue
limitation, or
facts.
not limitation, but statute of whatever they call it, to be consenting, the age of 16 or 17. So, okay, if you want to go that way, sure. But 21 to a 50-plus-year-old person, it's a bit
That's
nasty.
fine. Whatever you want to say, but you just don't argue facts. We'll skip through the CM Punk LA Knight thing. That may save us from LA Knight shouting us out. We love you, LA Knight, but tighten up.
Yeah.
That promo was hilariously bad.
But then also,
and Heyman came out there like on some like real like legit shoot shit. Like, all right, you guys have talked enough. Like this is going nowhere very fast. That wasn't good. It was not a good promo, and it's all because. And I'm saying this like kind of tongue in cheek, but I'm not tongue in cheek. It was all because of LA Knight.
So
love you, LA Knight. You are the man.
My note.
That promo bombed because of you.
This is how they do on their makeup videos, tutorials.
Okay, so what does it say?
It said shit was done already. So I guess when Paul Heyman first came out, he said that it was over. No, that shit was done a long time ago.
Yeah. It was done about 6 minutes ago when LA Knight's music hit.
Oh
no,
was done. Stop! We're not doing that.
I was like,
that's our guy. That's our guy.
But keep putting him in those spots to see if he delivers right. Like
it's what you do.
Once again, kind of on the job training. I mean, he's not a rookie, but we see what this is.
Yep.
I mean, we saw Miz kind of ate his lunch in the promo, and Punk didn't eat his lunch at all in the promo because the promo wasn't about that, right? There's teams with a little bit of dissension, but we kind of cool. Yeah. To me, that was more of let's see how you do, right? You're gonna be involved in this. Let's see how you do. And I was like, oof.
I will say, though, that I was happy because I talked about this about 20 plus minutes ago. I am happy that LA Knight before, and we should be past this already, the Vince writing back in the day. But before, like, that happened, we're talking about LA Knight and Seth and the injury and the match at Saturday Night's main event that didn't happen, that did happen, but didn't happen. Like, the old way, the old regime would have had us thinking like, okay, that LA Knight and Seth never happened. I am happy, though, that as soon as we got wrapped SummerSlam and all that happened, LA Knight did come back out and say, hold on, wait, it was still us. So I am happy about that part of it. I just still think that LA Knight's going to be on the losing side of this again. And there's going to be one more thing, like, again, he's not important, but he's on TV and there's still him, Alexa Bliss. Who else? Maybe those two right now are the ones that I'm still so surprised that they get such a massive pop when they first come out. The other heavy hitters, of course, rightfully so. Rhea still is like, it's ungodly, like how her pops are. But I feel like with LA Knight and Alexa Bliss, their pops are something else. And I don't necessarily feel like the company is encouraging in that enough for people to react that way. It's just something that they have with their fans.
I didn't think it was that bad, y'all.
Okay, but you also didn't say you didn't think it was that good either.
I said what I said.
Yeah, so there you go. He said it was fine. Just fine.
No, he said I didn't think it was that bad, which tells me he also didn't think it was that good. It should be LA Knight, CM Punk in the ring, promo battle, setting up the next pay-per-view, the Fatal 8-Way.
I will say though, like when it was on, like I was engaged throughout the entire segment. Like, I was my mind didn't drift. So I mean, there's that, like, right. So it was kind of a bit of a train wreck, but it kept my attention.
Oh, there you go. Cool. So you know it was a train wreck. There you go.
It kept my. See, listen. That's like when you're, like when you're on the freeway, and God bless whoever's involved in these accidents, right? Slows everything down, right? And then like when it's like the accidents on the other side of the freeway. And then the side of the freeway you on is bumper to bumper. And you're like, damn, what the hell happened, right? And then you get to the point that happened on the other side. And you're like, what in the hell is everybody over here stop for? Because you know why? Everybody gawking, everybody looking. Everybody looking to see what happened, right? You see them driving by, their head looking behind them. Like, right, people like Rex, man. People like Rex.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining. I mean, it was never a point where I'm like, oh my God, this is... And that's why I say I'm joking, because it was bad in a funny way, in a good way. It wasn't like, oh, this shouldn't be on TV. LA Knight has completely just bombed his chance. It wasn't that. It was you could tell it was off. Like it was not a cohesive and a free flowing.
And guess what? I'm bringing it back next week. God damn it! Like, let's do it again.
But here's the thing, and I love LA Knight a lot. And I don't like him because I told you about my feelings that was hurt because I was behind him and what they did with him. But this is now 2 times in the last 2 or 3 weeks where I felt like he really bombed his promo. So I don't know if he's getting in his head, if they're telling him something right before he goes out there. But this is now the second time that he's had a considerable amount of time of talking. Where I'm like, ooh, like, come on. Oh, ouch. Ooh.
Yep.
And and we know he's not like that. We know he's not like that.
Well, he's not like that when he's in his own element by himself. He's like this. I don't want to say more often than not because we love him.
Me in front of the aura,
right?
Of other people.
But when he is around the heavy tippy top, you kind of see this a little bit.
So kind of getting in his head.
But we still love him.
Yeah, I mean, you deserve to be there, LA Knight. So get out of your head.
Couple quick questions before we get out of here. Our guy Eternal sent me a message yesterday.
Haven't heard from him in a while.
And said, I want your opinion on the main event scene on Raw. I feel none of the people in it is taking that belt from Seth. I'm locked on Sammy for now. I'll go real quick, then I'll send over to my cohorts here. My brother Eternal, Sammy ain't dropping that belt no time soon.
You mean Seth?
Seth, yes. He's not dropping it anytime soon. So you are correct in saying you feel like none of the people can take it from him. But that is also kind of a opportunity. So we just bigged up the women's storylines and division on Raw. They have a little bit of a issue with the top of their division on Raw because we don't believe anybody's going to beat Seth Rollins. And that comes with just, we've been watching this long enough, like Cody. When Cody beat Roman for the title, you knew he wasn't dropping it anytime soon. Now, either that's no time soon is SummerSlam, which is 4 months. Is it Survivor Series, which is 7 months? Is it the Rumble, which is 9 months? Or is it Mania, 12 months? You know, in that first 3 months, there is no shot in hell he's losing that title. And it's kind of the same thing with Seth right now. But like Jay, I don't think that runs over for me. LA Knight, I don't see them putting the belt on him. I don't this year. So you kind of look at everybody who's in that match. You're just like, well, nobody's even going to win the title right now. Then you take Gunther out forever, how long he's going to be out. But no, you're right, man. Like nobody right now is taking the belt off Seth.
We talked about this before. The top on both is kind of booked weird. So again, I don't see anyone taking it from Seth at all. And I think I'm on a bandwagon with a lot of y'all. I think both of y'all mentioned it too. Just the way of if we're taking for what they're saying to us face value or what we're seeing on programming, what we're hearing on programming, that Sammy should be having some type of possible championship, heavyweight championship in the future. Again, I think it's a far future, but I think he might be the next person that's up for contendership. And again, I don't think that's going to be soon. And I didn't see the end of Raw, but MFT showing up on Raw, was that for any reason other than just proving some dominance on Raw? I didn't get to see the end of it.
It was Sammy because Sammy was on SmackDown. So it was the whole thing.
Got it. Okay.
They got kicked out. Solo said SmackDown better anyway.
So no, I'm joking. Okay. What you got?
I think you guys all said it best. I feel like I feel Raw they're in a good position. They have a lot of players that people can believe in. But I think Seth's gonna keep that championship. I think that the eventual match at Mania is going to be that Roman Seth match. Just makes you think what are we going to do with Punk? Are we going to finally get that Punk versus Cody match? That's another conversation for another.
Have to, man.
So here's the thing. I gotta go off of this. I feel like the way, again, what they're showing us, what they're telling us is going to be Roman Seth the Mania. But listening to Paul Heyman and his interview, even he believes, from at least what he sounds like, how I feel about the truest relationship there is Roman and Seth. And I think when Roman is done wrestling, I think it has to be against Seth. So if we're talking about who's next up and how this is going to look and like Roman heavy hitting opponents at Mania, I think Cody's going to have to go before Seth. I think Seth is going to be the last one.
Well, I thought it was really interesting. It was funny listening to Heyman talk about what the main events could have been at last year's Mania. Because I told Rhodesia, I'm like, this is us on the pod.
Yep.
Like every match he went over was matches we talked about being potential matches for WrestleMania. But he made a comment about they looked at doing Cody Roman 3, at Mania, and then they landed on what they landed on. But the original plan was supposed to be Roman and Seth. That was the original plan. Just one-on-one this past WrestleMania. And we didn't get that. So Rhodesia, I think that I know you've been on that. You're adamant that should be Roman's last match. And maybe it still will be. That won't be their first though of the next of their matches, right? That's happening sooner rather than later. Maybe next year, but give me that. But it was funny because I did see a social media tweet and then where they just basically broke down all the single championships that Seth won, Roman won, and Dean Ambrose or Moxley won. And I quote tweeted and I said that when they all retire, we're going to have a good conversation on just where this trio is going to land, because they could be the most decorated trio in the history of wrestling, especially when you think about where they've all done it at. And then I was thinking about this next question from Eternal, because it's about what we see for Royal Rumble next year. And E, you just said you kind of feel like it has to be Roman and Seth at next year's Mania. And if it is, I'm going to make sure I am not drunk or I don't have any substances of any kind in my body.
That sounds fun.
At that WrestleMania. Because if we get Roman and Seth and we get them at the end of that match to do the Shield fist bump, I'm shedding a tear. I'm crying.
Yeah.
I know I'm
Your
crying.
voice cracked.
And by some chance, if we can get Tony Khan and Triple H to work out.
You know what, though? It's time for Mox to come home, though.
It kind of is. It really
is.
It's time for
Mox to come home. So much fun.
It kind of is.
But if we could get him back for just that one night, I know I would cry.
Because I'm thinking about
getting the Shield
whenever his contract is up. Whenever his contract is up, I'm think he has a couple more years left.
He gotta come home.
It's time for him to come home. Right? He's done. He would have had all his fun he wanted to have.
Yep.
Right? It's a different regime. Like, right? He got to come back home. We got to do something with the Shield one more time. Like, right?
That's
we
also
got to have
like
a couple
Mercedes
more
too.
matches.
Mercedes has to come back so we can get the 4 Horsemen woman match that we've never got, and she has to know that.
Yeah.
Right? Like she has to know.
I want Mox back in WWE before I'm actually clamoring for Mercedes. I think there's still some things for her to do in AEW. I feel like she still hasn't reached her full potential, which I thought she was capable of when she got there. But Mox is almost kind of pretty much done everything.
What are you looking forward to more, both of you? Are you looking more forward to the Shield match, triple threat match, main event in WrestleMania, or the 4 Horsewoman match, main event in WrestleMania? Just match alone. Of course, you can talk about the build too if
Shield
you wanted
to,
but
100%.
Shield 100%.
The 4 Horsewoman, probably, because I don't think we've ever gotten that ever in life on
That's
TV.
Why I said we got to get it. Right. So, that's why I said it's got to happen.
I think just from the storyline for me, like the storyline elements that's built in and that's been talked about and the breakup, etc. I don't think we ever got a true follow-up from it. And again, Roman and Seth are totally different characters, totally different workers than they were back during that time period. Like for me, that's just it. I mean, I think it's you can with the 4 Horsewomen, you can create a story for them, but I don't think it's there like it is with the Shield.
I see that as far as star power, but when we talk about difference in characters, holy hell, no one thought Becky would be this. No one. She wasn't she Sasha's like wing woman or something like that?
Kicker. Remember that?
I mean, so she came out arguably being the best 4 Horsewoman. So I think that just the match alone. Well, actually, I just like how they wrestle more than I like how Roman wrestles. But I guess face Roman wrestles a little bit faster than heel Roman. So maybe the match itself, the quality of the match might be better than what I expect. But I still think match quality, bell to bell, I think the women match would be better than
Man, Moxley going to be bleeding all over that damn arena.
Hell yeah, he is. He going to be bleeding before
everybody in the arena going to get a drop. Everybody in the arena going to get a drop.
Last question, Eternal. The second question was, who are your very early predictions for the Royal Rumble match? He said, keep in mind, Rumble is in Saudi. He said he has Sami Zayn and the Dark Horse CM Punk. He said, women's, I have no clue. I'll go real quick first. I said a while ago I thought this whole story was to crown Sammy at WrestleMania next year. It's either gonna be Sammy or Braun. So where he went to with Sammy and CM Punk, I think Punk gets to Cody maybe another way. But give me Braun Breaker or Sami Zayn. Women's, this is the perfect opportunity for what I've been asking for a year and a half now, if not 2 years. Give me Jade winning the Royal Rumble. She challenges Bianca Belair. And we get Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill at next year's WrestleMania. I think we're getting that Jade heel turn. We talked about that last week. But we're in the Triple H era. We're going to slow walk it. We're going to slow walk the dog on this one. This could easily be a storyline that you fast track it. And right now, Bianca somehow gets a title shot. Jade gets pissed off like next week and then turns on Bianca and we get that match like at War Games or, a month before or whatnot. But I think this is the one that you slow walk it. They're both on SmackDown by themselves. You have Bianca be the babyface. You just kind of show a little bit of turning from Jade and she still don't kind of trust her a little bit, but you really flush that whole situation out. And then you go babyface Bianca, heel Jade at next year's WrestleMania.
I was trying to say, man, Royal Rumble is like so far away, but in reality, it's like only 4 or 5 months away from now. And so about 5 months away from now, but you still have to start building after Armageddon, after Armageddon in December. I be popping my own stuff sometimes.
You sure do. Nobody else laughs but you. You couldn't even get it out. I could see it in your face. You were so proud of yourself for hitting that one, man.
When I said I lose my whole train of thought because I just wanted to.
You sure do.
Off.
E, what you got?
It's okay, because I don't really know either. It's getting off Armageddon.
See, this is when we go past that hour and 30 freaks. This is what happened. This is what happens. So again, I think the Braun Breaker story, I think we're still too far. We gotta stop microwaving that, man.
Too early?
It's way too early, y'all. It's way too early for that. That's not gonna happen at Saudi this year. I think will happen, and I think that this is probably too on what's the word? I think we're gonna see Punk. If you think about the Mania matches, how did we get there? Like, right? Okay. I think that the Mania matches. So you think about Mania. What's the biggest matches that you can have for this year WrestleMania? I'm taking Rock off the board. Like, I don't know what's going on with that man.
Yeah.
Like, right? I don't know if we want Dwayne even involved in the creative process because, like, his ideas. He needs to stick with creative for himself. Like when he's dibbling dabbling everybody else's shit, it's kind of gets one. Think about the biggest matches. I guess Punk and Cody, Seth and Roman, right? And how do we get there? Like I don't think for a WrestleMania match right now, I don't think they built Sammy up to where his name on the box art for WrestleMania is a big thing. Like right now, they almost got a year to do it, but there's money matches on the table right now they can build to that the fans will look forward to, and that's going to be one of those two. So how do we get there? I think CM Punk barely lost last year. He wins this year, and then we go on to who's the challenger, right? Because it's a conversation to be had, especially if Seth is champion, right? You would think he would just go after Seth, right? That's his nemesis. They have beef, right? What kind of story can they tell if CM Punk chooses Cody and why? Like, right? That could be a conversation to have. Like, right? Or how does Roman Reigns? Like, right? He's lost a good bit of his match. Well, has he lost? No, he's won his matches, right? But how does he get?
You talking about Roman?
Yeah. How does Roman get to Seth? Like, maybe that's through WrestleMania win.
But do you do that for the title? Because if you're saying that that's the two biggest matches you can have, which I agree with, but I definitely don't think you. I mean, I guess you can go with the whole thing of like,
yeah,
I'm taking this from you.
I'm a guy for WrestleMania. The end match should be for one of your more important championship matches. Like, right? Like, yes, you can make it a grudge match. You can do that on PLE. But on a WrestleMania, I'm old school. I want to see that gold. I want to see that gold and black being held up for a main event match. Like, does the match need a championship? No. That's when it goes on. Like, it can go first for that. But at the end of the card, I want to see the world champion Seth against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Why not?
Well, shit, they were able to pull off that triple threat match without the title. Not say that it was right and do it 2 years in a row.
But
we knew that had to be last.
We had conversations for quite some time. Should that go last or not? Right? Ended up being fine.
What was the men's title match that night?
Jay. Oh, that.
Yeah, Jay.
Oh, it was right.
Jay was
that ended up being opener.
Opener, yep.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, okay.
We talked about it could be the women's match, right?
Yep.
But I feel like all right, one of the biggest matches, and again, this is history in the making with Seth and Roman. They've been planting seeds for a number of years now. Like, right? Why not make that for the biggest match possible in the next couple of years outside of Cody and Roman? Like, right? And I can see the world where Seth Rollins, on the biggest stage of them all, pins Roman Reigns and retains the championship.
Remember, Roman has never beat Seth. So, if that's the case, we're back still with that perfect record. And then Rhodesia, if we wanted to do that, we want to have some fun with this, and we go, Roman's got 3 more years on a part-time schedule before he hangs it up, and then him and Seth is the last match, and then he finally beats Seth, right? I mean, well, you can play with it so much, but tears is falling. If I get the fist bump, and we know it's going to be an incredible story, right? We know they're going to put their all into the story. We know they're going to put their all into that match, and we get them fist bumping for the first time in forever. Yeah. And what's one of their last matches, man, you're gonna have to cart me out that place. I'm sitting front row. I'm sitting right next to green shirt man. I don't know how, but we're gonna figure that out. And I'm gonna be sitting there crying like a little bitch.
We gotta get to that point, because at this point, you can't have Seth Rollins double stumping my head to the ground, like, you know what I'm saying, twice. And then we gonna fist bump at the end of that. No, man. We gonna shed some shit. We gonna shed some blood. Goddamn it! Like, right? It's gonna be hard before it gets better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about Eric. It's gonna get hard before it gets better.
This guy. He started the show like that. He ended the show like that. We out of here, y'all. That's it. He's got to go. Actually, we got to go too. We got to eat. We got to sleep. We got a whole lot to do. Hopefully, y'all enjoy this presentation of episode 212. Or the TFW podcast. Y'all know where to find us at, because you're listening to us. So I'm probably even going to stop shouting out the socials every week.
Yeah, we got to shout the social out.
If they are listening to us or they're watching us, that means they found us.
No, because what if somebody who's watching us on episode 1 didn't know we had a TikTok already? And then now, when you plug, where you find us at, now they know we have a TikTok.
Because it'll be in the description.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
And you have proven you don't do that on this show multiple times.
Whatever.
We out here, y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next week.